The truth is pretty much hiding right in front of us. And yet, the DA, law enforcement, they're pretty much satisfied as they have gotten their man. Chris Watts has been locked under key and they're done. They go home, they have time with their families, their loved ones, but yet 4 innocent souls are gone because of this man wanting to start a new life with Nichol Kessinger. And yet there are some people out there that think that Nichol Kessinger has nothing to do with this. How can you state that this Nichol Kessinger is innocent when she was hunting, obsessed with what Shanann had? She wanted Chris. We know that, obviously, through all the text messages, emails, and cards, and so forth. And people are like, she's a victim. We've heard it before from the DA's wife. She's a victim? This woman, NK, has grown up over the course of years, and the path that she has had, DUIs, stabbing of another individual, another person's wife's husband. Was that right? But this woman is a walking train wreck. And she's just going from each and every single person and destroying their lives. When is it going to be enough until this woman destroys another family or destroys somebody else's life? And yet we let her free? And when I say we, I don't mean myself. I am not an educated professional in criminology or criminal justice. I would love to go there one day. But I see something that I know is wrong, and I'm going to say something about it. And that's what I'm making in this video again. Is I will make these videos until I'm sick in the face. And it's not coming anytime soon. Because Nichol Kessinger, I know wholeheartedly, I said this before, and thousands of YouTubers have said the same thing, is there is a hidden truth underneath the complete lies that we are fed from Nichol, Chris, now the DA. Apparently the DA doesn't want to watch monetized content, but yet his wife's YouTube channel was monetized. Well, I shouldn't say that was monetized. The video itself, podcast, was monetized with an ad that supported and gave them money. Do I do this for fame or fortune? No. I do this because I'm hoping to one day see those silver cuffs on Nichol's hands. And she confesses, or they interrogate her, or they give her the lie detector test, because I guarantee wholeheartedly I could stake my life that this woman was involved. I wholeheartedly believe this. And we're going to keep looking at hiding the truth. We're going to join with real killers and watch the content that he had posted not too long ago. A lot of people you guys want me to watch this, so I'm going to watch it. So with that being said, before we go any further, I thank you guys for the 41,000 subscribers that are joining me on this journey into exposing and annihilating the lies that Nichol Kessinger has stated and bring her to the full justice system. And hopefully one day we will see a DA take it upon himself or herself and properly interrogate Nichol Kessinger, investigate her like they should, because we've heard before, oh, we can't get all the bad guys, we'll just get the ones that we can get. That's unacceptable. So with that being said, subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting the white bar icon down at the bottom right, hit the bell icon next to it so I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted a video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I am so blessed to have all of you guys here. Keep doing what you guys are doing, because once we get to 50,000 subscribers, one of you lucky people at home are going to get a MetaQuest 3 virtual reality headset, and everyone can use this thing. It's fantastic. You can learn from it. You can do pretty much anything with this headset. Play games, watch TV, and so forth. And I want to give back to my supporters, my subscribers, my members, and so forth like that. So make sure you guys go over to the channel Real Killers. This guy, I do believe it's a guy, because I think I've watched his content before. Go over there, give him some love, because we're going to watch his content with my add-ons. I do want to reiterate as well that I'm not obsessed with Nichol. I'm obsessed with getting Nichol arrested, because I feel that she did wrong. I feel wholeheartedly. Physically, I don't know. I can't prove that, because there was no there was no evidence found of her. There wasn't no follow through. And I mean, we've grown up watching CSI. We've grown up watching CSI Miami and CSI New York and all these other crime videos and the First 48 and stuff like that. They collect evidence. They use the evidence. They look at the evidence. They use the evidence for the interrogations, the interviews, the whatever have you. Why was this not done to Nichol? Why did Nichol just sit there and pretty much bluntly state nothing but BS out of her mouth and pretty much not ever help the case? None of what she spat out of her mouth, and I've said this before on other videos, but some people don't see those and so forth like that. So I probably am repeating myself, but you pretty much have to repeat yourself, because there's some people out there that again think that this woman is innocent. This woman has destroyed a family with her sexual pictures and her Googling butt stuff and wanting to be with a married man, when there is how many billion other men out there that she could have picked from, but she picked Shanann's husband. She could have picked how many different guys in that room. And she probably did. She probably was with a whole bunch of other guys. That's the rumor as well. But again, let's get into this video and see more of hiding the truth of Nichol Kessinger with Real Killers. Let's take a look.
This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Welcome back to Real Killers. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks.
It's free.
Buckle up. We're heading to Watts Island. Did Nichol Kessinger have any involvement in the murders of Chris's wife and kids, 34-year-old Shanann Watts?
Not the wife. But I do believe also, and I'm going to pause here and there because you guys don't want me talking during it. So yes, I'm going to pause it. If you guys don't like the commentary, there's other YouTube channels to go watch. So have fun. But with that being said, Nichol Kessinger helped clean up. They cleaned up very poorly. They were caught in the middle of taking everything accordingly like thought they were going to get away with. And because Nicole Atkinson was checking on her friend, that's what foiled the plan. And there are others out there that believe that Nicole Atkinson had something to do with her friend's death. I think that's baloney. How dare you blame Nicole Atkinson when I've looked at the evidence and that evidence is complete hogwash. If you guys want me to look into that for me to discredit, because I can guarantee it's discreditable. They're just trying to point the fingers over here when the finger should be pointed over here. Do you get my gist? Like a magician. Here's what I'm doing, but I'm actually doing something over here, kind of thing. I do believe that Nichol Kessinger had something to do with the babies. Shanann was taken out by her husband. The cleanup was both of them, because we've already seen in the interrogations, he has literally said we, them, He's stating more than he can't do it to them. We've said it in the last video. I'll post that in the links in the description. We hear them. We, not I or me. It's we, them. Why would you say that? And I'm the one that's cuckoo?
4-year-old Bella, 3-year-old Cece, and Nico, who never even got a chance to open his eyes, leaving law enforcement, his community, and the world in mourning. It's been 5 years, but still feels as if this happened yesterday.
Amen.
As Chris Watts was confessing, Nichol Kessinger was speaking to investigators a few miles away, with her opportunity to be 100% truthful. Instead, she decided to be misleading, and in some of her statements, she just outright lied, conveniently forgetting details and withholding information.
And then
Nichol Kessinger's police interviews and her cell phone records are very telling. Many have suspected for years that she may have had some level of involvement in the murders, and for good reason. What I find interesting is that Shanann's family say they have a lot of detail about the case, details that were never made public, and certain details about Nichol as well, and still believe that Chris Watts acted alone. So then why did Nichol Kessinger feel the need to lie? This video is just my own point of view.
Plus, why is she hiding still? Just saying.
And opinions. There's just so many events that Kessinger lied about. If you have nothing to worry about or no involvement, why lie? I want to throw some quick shame on all you victim blamers. How dare you? A pregnant mother and her babies were murdered. Shanann was loving and caring, and even if she wasn't, she nor those babies deserved that. Chris would have never...
He said it personally, amazingly. There is somebody in my comments, which again, how dare you say because she said, or she was controlling. She wasn't controlling. She was a very, how do I say it? She was a very driven woman. She knew what she wanted. She worked hard. I've seen it. And there's people that are spouting off because she made them eat this, or she was a mother making sure that they ate their food. And like, I'm just like, some of the stuff they're looking at, they're trying to justify Chris murdering his family. There is no justification in what he did whatsoever. And they're trying to justify it. Like he said, how dare you blame the victims, Bella, Cece, baby Nico, and Shanann. They're the ones that lost their life. She didn't put a thing to his head. She didn't threaten his life. He wanted to get his jollies off again and continuously with another woman because the woman he was with mothered his children, was getting ready to mother another child, and he got bored because he's not a man. A man would take care of his children, would take care of his wife, as thus I do. I take care of my kids. I take care of my fiance, my wife, technically, because I've been with her for 10 years. Because that's what a man is supposed to do, not go to somebody else to find their jollies off of something. For those that believe that Chris, Team Chris, or Team NK, I can't believe there's Team NK and Team Chris. I don't get it. Let's continue.
Never seen a court date had he done something like this to mine. CBI agent Tammy Lee gets a call from Anadarko security manager Tony Husky to inform her of a contract worker named Nichol Kessinger who was in a relationship with Chris Watts. 4 hours later, Nichol Kessinger was contacting authorities to reveal herself so that she can get ahead of the investigation. She knew it was a matter of time before they reached out to her, and she jumped out in front of that. You'd think that somewhere in those 6 meetings she attended with FBI and CBI, they would have interrogated her as a suspect at least once, just to see if she'd crack. They might have got a confession out of her. Instead, they protected her, talked to her as a witness and a victim before fully vetting her. Some think Nichol got special treatment because of who her father is. Word on the street is he is a Freemason. Could be true. I can't verify anything on this. So I'm leaning towards conspiracy theory on whether or not he is a Freemason.
So I just want to know how you met him, where you met him, how long you guys were dating, and those kind of things initially. Okay. I think I met him sometime in June, probably early June. Might have been May. It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his.
Kessinger's phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado at 6:16 a.m. the morning of the murders. Highlighted in yellow in Nichol Kessinger's Verizon call log, it's a 1-minute call to someone in Milwaukee, roughly when Chris Watts was driving at Survey 319 with his family in the rear car seat behind him. We
Which is close to where Jim lives. Just saying.
know this to be her friend Jim's phone number, the other man in her life with a key to her apartment. And just above that call in blue at 9:28 p.m., there was a call she received 111 minutes, and that was from Chris Watts. Both Chris and Nicole were asked about that 111-minute conversation. They both gave similar answers and stated that the topic of conversations were random and not relevant. That just sounds rehearsed.
Amen.
Records also revealed that authorities who examined Kessinger's phone found hours worth of searches. And on July 24th, Kessinger Google searched the phrase, "Man I'm having an affair with says he will leave his wife." And on August 8th, Kessinger searched Google on topics relating to marrying your mistress. And after the murders, a search using the phrase, "Can cops trace text messages?" Interesting. Look, people...
And all of that can get you 10 to 15 years itself in prison for incriminating evidence, deleting of messages, tampering with evidence. I've looked it up in the state of Colorado. She could have done 10 to 15 years just for that. And yet she's free.
People have affairs. Some folks
That is the fakest thing I've ever seen. I think my daughters could make a better cry than that.
I guess the real question is, what exactly did you do? If all you're guilty of is pursuing and sleeping with a married man, so you tell police the truth from start to finish.
Yep.
By coming forward immediately, not after you get wind that management has contacted investigators about the affair.
That's why she came
Then
forward.
spend the next 4 hours trying to delete and hide information before revealing yourself. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but
Sorry, guys. I don't know why my camera just went out, but I fixed it. Okay.
I'm not sure I would want to drag my father, or anyone else for that matter, into this. All this information is probably old news to a lot of you, but I just landed on Watts Island, so I got a lot of catching up to do.
That's why we're doing this now.
When Kessinger revealed her identity to the media in an interview with the Denver Post after Watts pleaded guilty to killing his wife of nearly 6 years, Kessinger said she barely knew him and we had just met. She said the two co-workers had begun a physical relationship, but we were taking it slow and didn't discuss long-term plans. She added that Watts told her that he was in the process of finalizing his divorce, and then later told her that the divorce was completed.
You're not being You're not being interrogated as a criminal suspect. We're here
Afraid.
to understand your relationship with Chris and what you know about Chris and his family, and events relating to Chris Watts. And do you know him as Chris or Christopher?
Either one.
Okay. So the phone number that you reached him on, can you tell me what that number was?
I think I deleted that out of my phone too. I just cut him out of my life.
On August 19th, only 4 days after Watts was arrested, Kessinger Google searched Amber Fry, asking about her net worth, book deals, and if she'd be shamed publicly. I'm sure you've heard of Amber Fry, and if you haven't, Amber was the mistress of another infamous killer by the name of Scott Peterson, who murdered his wife Lacey and their unborn child back in 2002, which was another absolutely heartbreaking case. Amber Fry didn't have to go under witness protection. She had nothing to hide. Because unlike Amber,
And again, Nichol wasn't in, how do I say this? She was not in the witness protection program because of the Colorado or the CBI or FBI. She went into hiding because of herself. She doesn't have immunity. They just didn't interrogate her. They didn't investigate her. They got their man. They were done. She doesn't have immunity. She just went into hiding. So I don't know where this is coming from. Oh, man.
Nichol lied. Amber Fry came out before police even knew of her, and Amber Fry was truthful about not knowing he was married. Sorry, Nichol, you're in a whole different class.
Whole nother ballpark.
Nichol, what are you trying to hide? Look, I obviously don't know, none of us know, if she was actually there committing the act. All these contradictions do not make her look good at all. She tells police they had no plans for the future, but she's looking at wedding dresses.
Exactly.
She obviously had a major influence on Chris and did see some future in their relationship.
She wanted Chris's firstborn son.
She suggested he pawn Shanann's wedding ring while his family was missing. That really says a lot about someone's intentions. Let's face it, she knew Chris Watts was married. For a long time, she knew. She accepted her role as his mistress. The Father's Day post by Shanann and the girls showing their appreciation honoring Chris was enough proof for me that Kessinger knew. But then there's the Google search dating all the way back to January of 2018, when
Typo.
according to Kessinger, she didn't know Shanann's name until way after they started dating. She is creepy. That's some pretty scary
That laugh.
shit when you think about it. Modern day fatal
Gross.
attraction. I don't know about you, but if I'm giving you a key to my home, we're a little more than just friends.
Exactly.
Nichol claims Chris knew about Jim and was not insecure or jealous at all about him.
Apparently there's a
If I was a
three-way.
betting man, I'd bet Nichol was lying about that and used Jim from time to time. You have a wife, I have a friend. Every time Chris had to go back home.
Again, not to pause, but I had a girlfriend once. Her name was Brittany. Just gonna throw that out there. She manipulated me. She manipulated other men, and some girls just get off of doing that. And she'd make me do things that she wanted. She would go to that guy. I never knew about him until the end. Like, there are girls out there that do this for fun. So, is that Nichol? I think so.
To his wife.
She liked the attention.
She hated it. And she needed Jim around. The same way she was threatened by Shanann, she needed Chris to feel that too. To pressure Chris into following through with his plans to divorce Shanann. The evidence is right here in front of us. She wanted Shanann's life, and with Chris, the house, the kids. Hell, she'd been stalking this family for at least 6 months, but probably way longer. She went to extremes to hide information from police, reaching out to her friends, asking them to delete messages before deleting all of her messages. That should have alarmed detectives.
And
She went and broke her damn SIM card. The lengths she took to hide and mislead police during the investigation is the same measures and lengths she took to make Chris do all the things to rid himself of his family. She was the mastermind behind giving Shanann Watts Oxycontin in hopes for her to miscarry,
They said it was from his
and telling
sister.
Chris that she wanted to give him his first son. She seemed cold and callous. Other than the act that she pulled, zero empathy and accountability. I just can't see her as a victim at all.
Not
Was
at
she
all.
there that night? I don't know. There's video out there, but I couldn't 100% make that out. Very possible. If that surveillance cam footage was as clear as day, none of us are having this conversation right now. I'm sure CBI would have handled that swiftly. The pressure was on.
You would think.
Chris had to make a decision. The longer Chris waited, the more Kessinger manipulated him. So Chris decided to go to North Carolina because Nichol Kessinger told him to work on his marriage because she wanted him to be the best dad he could be to those
Said
beautiful
no
girls.
mistress ever.
And she takes credit for that, wanting to create space for him, telling him to work on his marriage, but then seconds later tells investigators that they were still seeing each other frequently, and it was all Chris, stating he was into me more than I was into him. She takes zero accountability for anything, unless it's to tell investigators that it was because of her that Chris tried to fix things with his wife. But you're also the reason for a lot of other things happening, Nichol. This wasn't Chris's first rodeo. It's my understanding that he has cheated on his wife before. At some point, his then mistress knew to call it for what it was and walked away. But not you. You wanted more. You just couldn't let go. Nichole's excuses for all of her poor decisions are weak. I understand everyone's frustrations with police or investigators handling the case. We have to remember that there was nothing they could do with what they have. Suspicion is not going to cut it in a court of law. Police had to be very careful how they handled things. In reality, Nichol didn't even have to talk to police. She could have lawyered up and exercised her right to remain silent.
And she didn't.
I know. I sound like an NK sympathizer. However, was the same age Shanann was when she passed, with 3 kids about the same age as Cece and Bella, and a newborn. So this case hits home for many of us.
Mine
Nichol
does.
had no consideration for the Watts family.
She
She'd
didn't
slow
care.
down enough to get with a married man. She knew he was married. She justifies her willingness to be in a relationship with Chris by blaming him for lying about a divorce that she pressured him to get.
Exactly.
Shanann was doing what everyday moms do. Those girls were her life. Chris was her life. She would have done anything to get him back. She wasn't going to give up on their marriage because she loved that monster. It was too late. By the time she realized something was off, Chris had already made up his mind. It's so sad because had she thought for 1 millisecond that Chris had it in him to hurt those girls, she would have fled back home or never came back with him in the first place. I can't even imagine what was going through her head in those final moments. As for Nichol, she doesn't exist anymore. New identity and location. I wouldn't be surprised if she was still in Colorado. Highly unlikely,
Apparently
though.
she is.
She could be anywhere. If I were her, I'd go to Alaska, way in the mountains, and far away from people. Someone will recognize her one day. The
One
world
day.
still wants answers, Nichol. If we are all wrong about you, and our theories prove
We're
it,
not.
prove us wrong and explain yourself. It'll be a long time before you're able to live with yourself for the choices you've made.
There will be judgment.
Ultimately, I think NK may be guilty of conspiring to terminate Shanann's pregnancy and obstructing justice. Did she actually kill Shanann? Personality and all the research tells me it's very possible that she could have been there. But don't be mistaken. Chris is exactly where he belongs. Other than that, there just isn't much more to go on. There have been many conspiracy theories about the case. Talk of crystals under the beds, inmates getting released and claiming Chris confessed NK involvement. There has been talks about Chris being drugged by Nichol, black magic and spells, Freemason involvement, and the Ruziks having mob ties, so much more. This has gotten out of control, and after this video, I am vacating Watts Island. I fell through the rabbit hole, and it's easy to get swallowed up by all the information and rumors out there. Chris Watts is a weak man. He took out his whole family for a nut job. She wanted Chris to leave his wife for her. She may have said some horrible things in text and didn't want anyone to see it. Somewhere along the line, things got out of control, and here we are.
Never say never. This is why we do this. I am not gonna give up. There's been people that have wrote me online and have told me to give up because what I'm doing is worth a waste of time. And I don't want to give up because I know it's wrong. And Nichol destroyed a family and is living her life. What about Shanann? What about Bella, Cece, baby Nico? They don't get to live their lives. And for them to sit there and say that I have no push or pull, I don't want a push or pull. I just want to bring it to the light of others so I can also know from their point of view that I'm not crazy. I'm not the one that thinks that, or the only one that thinks that Nichol is involved. And it just, there's 41,000 of you that agree, that have wrote on my Facebook, that have stated that I am included, or not included, but that I am onto something. There's how many other YouTubers that say the same thing, not just myself. So for those that are new here, please tell me in the comments, do you believe in that Nichol Kessinger is involved? And again, for those people that don't think that she was involved and that she's innocent, I'm still waiting for those that to tell me why she's innocent. Just because there's no physical evidence does not mean that she was not involved. She still could do time for the deletion of messages, for tampering with evidence, for lying to police investigators. I mean, you're told to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, but so help you God. I mean, so please keep your comments positive. Please don't bully anybody else. I have noticed a couple people being bullies. You will be blocked. You will be deleted. There's no need for that. We're just here to debate, talk amongst ourselves for our opinions, and then hopefully have a great night with our families. So, again, I thank you guys for watching. Please take care. Be safe. We're going to continue this Watts Island. Like we say, never say never, because this is not a coincidence. And we'll hopefully one day see judgment. If it's not judgment in this life, she's going to get judgment in the next one. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Please take care. Keep it safe. And as always, keep nerding on. And we will see you guys next time.